Ushaftem mayim bisason mimanei hayeshua. What's that all about? Ushaftem, that you should retrieve water mima'anei, from the wells of the Yeshua, of the Savior, the wells that are going to save you. This celebration took place on Sukkot. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Okay, Chag Sameach. So, there's a holiday, or actually a ceremony, called Simchat Beit Hasho'eva. The Simcha, the joy, the celebration of the Beit Hasho'eva, the house of the retrieving of the water, and the ceremony of the water. Okay, so let's put ourselves on the holiday of Sukkot. We have 3 holidays that we go up to the city of Jerusalem in biblical times to thank God, offer God blessings, and request blessings for the future. And it says that if you didn't see the Simchat Beit Hasho'eva ceremony, you didn't see what a simcha was. And that if you didn't see the temple during that, you didn't see the most beautiful building. And if you didn't see what Jerusalem looked like, well, you didn't see the most beautiful city. Okay, but usually that's where everything stops. So tell me more, Haftorahman. What is the big deal? Okay, so first, everybody's been preparing for almost a month, some people, to travel to the city of Jerusalem to offer up their thanks to God. Some took less time, more time. Some whole families came. Some came just the leader of the family. And they would bring up their offerings to God. And they would come with the seeds. There's a story that was told to me by Mr. Shlomo Messiah, that they had 7 different kinds of seeds that they would bring up. From the date, from the pomegranate, from grain and wheat, you name it. Those 7. They would put the seeds in the jars, bring it up with them in a belt tied around their waist, let's say, and come to the temple. They go to the priest, the Kohen, they go, please, I got these from the fruits that I grew on my land. I'd like you to bless them, so next year I'll have abundance as well. And the Kohen would bless them, they would go back. So here, the most important thing is water. Water, because now's the planting season. You have to put the seeds in the ground. You have to water them when you plant them. So I need water, irrigation. I'm in the middle of the Middle East. What if I don't get water? Bad. So we had the ceremony called Simchat Beit Hasho'eva. So the first question is it, where did it come from? Where did it start? If you look in the Torah, it says just about Nisuch Hayayim, the ceremony on the wine, the pouring of the wine. It doesn't mention the water. And there's a discussion whether it's from the oral law or not. Briefly. We can go in depth if you're interested. Number 2, where did it take place? Well, we're in the temple. We're in the outside place where the altar is. And on the southern corner of the altar is where they would pour the water. That's specifically the place that it would happen. Now, what is going on when all of this happens? It's Sukkot, 8 days in Jerusalem. What happens is if it was not Shabbat and if it was not Yom Tov, they would do the celebration. And they would go down to the well, the Shiloach well, and they would draw the water from there. When the Levitical orchestra was in the temple, 120 guys, horns, flutes, harps, drums, celebration, singing psalms. LeDavid mehizmor. Beautiful. And these people, the Kohanim, they would go down to the waters and they would take in pitchers, like a liter of water, they would take up back to the temple. Mind you, what time of day would this happen? It would happen it says in the morning and the evening, and some people say just the evening. If you want to focus on the evening part, listen to this. That the celebration, they had rabbis that were able to juggle 8 torches, do handstands on their thumbs. So it was a carnival-like, festival-like environment. They were celebrating, they were dancing. And this started at night, that the city of Jerusalem was lit up. They said they took the beged, an old vest of the Kohen, the priest, and they would twist wicks and light lamps. And the city of Jerusalem, the whole city of Jerusalem was so bright, a lady could sort through the barley for the stones and the bugs, that much light. They didn't do that. It says it didn't do that, but it said it was light enough to do that. So now, you can imagine, you're there, and they go all night till the chickens crowed in the morning, it says. So they were going and going and going. It was fantastic. There were these kelim that it's described, these vessels that are described, what they brought it up in, these jars. I said it was about 1 liter. And that when they went to the temple and they went onto the altar, there was this other vessel, like a clay mug. It had one hole on the top and one hole on the side or the bottom, and that the water would be poured onto the corner of this. Meaning, we have water, we are grateful, we want you to bless us with more water. And that was the ceremony because people acknowledged that God is the source of all blessing, and we wanted continued blessing from God. So you had music, dancing, water, lulav, esrog. You had people coming from all over the country to Jerusalem, offering sacrifices, going into the mikveh. You had the menorahs lit, the fresh bread. You had the besamim, the incense. It was very visceral. It was very cool to be there. And I'm trying to share that with you so that when you celebrate the holiday today, you have the holiday of Sukkot, and we go to Simchat Beit Hasho'eva parties, that we should understand the origin of it, how it started. I hope I've been helpful. Please let me know. Feel free to share this with your friends because we're going to spiritually uplift everybody this week of Sukkot. Chag Sameach.